Okay, we're here for geography. This is chapter 15 through 17. The unit is on Russia and the republics, also known as Northern Eurasia, kind of a regional atlas. Again, these Russia and the republics would be the former Soviet Union. Russia, of course, is the largest country on Earth. It was the Soviet Union when they broke up, then it became Russia. Twice the size of the United States. You could put Canada and the United States together within that country. Nearly half of the northern hemisphere is covered by Russia. The land is flat in the west, and it becomes increasingly mountainous as you move farther east. The Ural Mountains are the dividing line between Europe and Asia. It's really a good line. It averages about 3,000 to 4,000 feet in elevation, with the highest peak being about 6,200 feet. Really no transportation problems. Located about right here between the Caspian and the Aral, going up to this location right there. And then I usually ask the students, why do we divide Europe from Asia? And the reason for that is culturally they are very different. The European side, the makeup of the people, religion, and much different in Asia, a lot of different varieties of religions and peoples. West of the Ural Mountains is the North European Plain. We've talked about that before, that area of real fertile soil. And to the east of the Urals is the Siberian lowland, and really interesting, this area is the largest area of unbroken plain in the world. So we have our Great Plains here in the United States. I'm just gonna make a guess, maybe 4 to 5 times bigger than our Great Plains region. Some of the major rivers that flow through the region, we have the Dnieper, the Don, and the Volga to the south. And the Volga is the longest river in Europe. Then the Irtysh and the Ob that flow to the north. Again, with a country this size, hundreds if not thousands of rivers can be found in the region. Caspian Sea is the world's largest largest inland body of water, and it's so big that they don't call it a lake, they refer to it as a sea. It is a salty lake. It's about 143,000 square miles in size. I'd compare that with our state of Utah. We have 86,000 square miles. So the Caspian Sea, not quite twice the size of the state of Utah. If I was to hold my hands in a position from north to south on Utah, possibly about right there would be how it compares with Utah. Lake Baikal is the deepest lake in the world at, I believe it's 5,700 and something feet deep, and that obviously is over a mile deep. And it makes up, it's a freshwater lake, it makes up 20%. This is really amazing to me. 20% of the world's fresh water is found in Lake Baikal. And Siberia is the Asian part of Russia. So on the east side of those Ural Mountains is the area known as Siberia. Typically people think of the cold, the snow, just the rugged terrain, the vast distances from place to place. Typically, you know, we talk about it in the past, that might be an area where if you were speaking out against the government, they might send you to Siberia. The southern border consists of the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and the Caucasus Mountains. So here's the Black, Caspian Sea, and the Caucasus Mountains right there between them. The basically this would be more of the southwest border of the region or Russia. And I usually also ask kids to talk about if you're doing an application of some kind, they ask for a race or ethnic origin. And if you have, for me, it would be white or Caucasian. And I tell them that the word Caucasian comes from this Caucasus region there in the southern border. Okay. The term steppes is a term used to describe the temperate grasslands that are found in northern Eurasia. So when we're speaking specifically about Russia, the word is steppes. If we're talking about Africa, it might be a savanna. The United States, prairie, grasslands, and I believe South America was the pampas. So steppes for those grassland areas. Climate is influenced by its location in the high latitudes. So I've got a world map in the back of my classroom here. As I look at it, I can see Canada, and then as I go straight across on the line of latitude, the border between the United States and Canada, that is the very southern border of Russia. So Russia is extreme far north, again with those colder climates. So high latitudes of the northern hemisphere, its sheer size, our size of our country has an effect on our climate, with the Midwest being very hot and humid and cold and freezing in the wintertime. So again, high latitudes and sheer size, less affected by landforms in this region. Climate types, so we have tundra or polar, subarctic, again just below, sub meaning below, humid continental, semi-arid and arid as you move a little farther south, some of those drier conditions in that region. And the area is relatively dry, although some moisture is carried in by winds blowing in from the Atlantic Ocean. I was going to show on a map, there was one that showed that North European plain, and so along that area, I think it was called the Poland or Polish funnel. There's some wind that carries into the continent from there. Quite the extremes in temperature. Continental climates or temperatures can be anywhere from 122 degrees to minus 90 degrees. Some record highs and lows. So anyway, that takes care of our first page to chapter 15 and 17 on Russia and the republics.